the previous part of our conversation, Jennifer Shapley shared how LinkedIn is applying some innovative strategies on their own talent acquisition team.
What we built probably 3-4 years ago was a recruiting apprenticeship program that we call RAMP, Recruiting Amplified. It is specifically for folks who have no recruiting experience.
In this final part of our conversation, we discussed the future of remote work and how this will impact recruiting teams.
And to look into the future, I mean, the last 2-3 years with COVID and remote work rising, it's been, tons of things have been changing, tons of things have been in flux. So I'm curious kind of when you look at the future, what are you excited about? What do you want to see happen? And how do you think this remote trend is going to influence that?
I mean, I smile thinking about it because coming from, different areas of the US, I know the incredible talent that I have worked with at other organizations that just didn't have the opportunity because they couldn't or didn't want to move, to where the tech hubs were. And so to know that now we've got access to that talent because we're offering more remote opportunities, I just think is really exciting. And I think it's super interesting on the recruiting side because our talent pools that were like this are now like this. And conversations that we've been having with business leaders for years around, we can limit the experience that you're looking for to this if you will open up your geographical, flexibility is now happening. And so it's a really exciting time to be able to go identify and recruit new talent, which is fun. So you're not just shuffling through the same people over and over again. And we're seeing it shift so quickly. So going back a year and a half ago or so, I think around 1 in 67 jobs posted on LinkedIn were remote. So very few. It's right now, it's about 1 in 6.
Wow,
so
that's quite a change.
It's a huge change. It's a huge change. And when you just think about, the talent pools that have now shifted because people are open to talent in new places, it's a game changer. It's a totally new day for recruiting.
Once you open up to remote, the relying on proxies becomes less possible because those traditional proxies, such as well-known schools, well-known companies, are geographically tied to the East and West Coast usually. So as soon as you go remote, you're like, oh, actually, we've got to drop some of the other proxies and focus on the core of what do we really care about? Because otherwise, those proxies don't really play well with remote and hiring from anywhere.
Yeah, when you get a few people in and you prove the point, and I believe it'll be a flywheel effect. I smirk, grin, whatever, talking to other leaders that I work with who are just we are getting some incredible talent. And they're and it's such a competitive market. What are we doing?
Yeah, it's eye-opening.
And I'm well, of course we have a great brand and, culture that attracts folks, but it's eye-opening. It's well, what are we doing differently? Well, we're looking, outside of industry more, we're looking to new locations, and that is giving us access to more talent. And so it's validating and exciting for me to see the enthusiasm that leaders are showing when they're seeing the type of talent that they can get.